Hey everyone, so I want to take a second and talk about installing DevTest on Windows. Now, I'll use DevTest and Service Virtualization very loosely. You've heard me say that, and you probably hear me say it a million times. Technically, now it's called Application Test. But when you install DevTest, it really is a beast, right? I'm running on my laptop mainly for demos and POCs and things like that. But I'm also running TDM, Test Data Management. There's videos out there for that I've got on my YouTube. And then there's also Service Virtualization. Release Automation, which is Nolio, and I should have videos out there for that as well. But looking at this, if you install it, there's a lot of pieces, and there's an order of operations of where they have to start up. Now, when you install Service Virtualization, it actually installs, you have the option to install demo apps, and I truly recommend installing those because those, number one, are things that I'm going to be working through. So there's no reason why you can't do them with me. But let me see, I'm sorry, I was trying to get to this. So CA, we go into dev test. And if I go to examples, there's examples here. There's the demo server. There is a startup that allows you to start all this up. And we're going to talk about this probably in just a few minutes. We're not going to start this one because this one starts the cars demo, but we will start it when we get to it. The other thing too is when you install it, there's also shortcuts for these. But what I did was, if you look here, drag this over. There is a startup all. Now, I'm not going to run this, and here's why. Like I said, when I install my services for anything I install, I don't set them to automatic. Let me get some real estate here. What I do is I set them to where I have to activate them. The only one that's really required, so I don't turn it off ever, is the AIM. Okay, that's Identity Manager. If you try to install any of the other products, applications that's built in DevTest, without this one running, they won't run. Or at least they'll have problems running. Because the first one you want to start up, if we go down this script, it's just a batch script, right? No biggie. We're going to skip the demo server because we're going to start it up afterwards so you can see how that starts up. Now the key is if I start it here, it runs in the background. If I start it with this script, it's going to run down in my taskbar. And I'd rather just run in the background. I got enough stuff anyway. So the first thing we want to start is a registry. So let's go ahead. Everything reports to the registry. So let's go ahead and run it first. All right, and it usually takes a couple seconds to get going. Now, if you start the registry and it doesn't run, it keeps turning off, make sure your AIM is running, okay? AIM being your Identity Access Manager. So if I hit refresh, make sure the registry is running. Looks like it's pretty stable. The next one we're going to jump to is a broker. And there's reason I said look at this batch file because it kind of helps you with the order of operations. I used to have all this written down, and there was a time when I had it memorized, but it's just easier just to look here, right? Be lazy. Let's see, coordinators next. These aren't really as dependent as much as the register is because everything reports to the registry, and you'll see that shortly. At least most everything. Like, for an example, the dashboard doesn't report to registry. Well, I guess it kind of does, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Let's see, simulator, and I think BSC is the last one. Okay. So now that they all should be running, give them a few seconds, make sure they're running. Oh, let's go ahead and start our dashboard. I'm sorry, that one should have been running. Now, I don't need the dashboard CIC, but why not? Just go ahead and start it anyway. Now all the dev test applications are running. F5 refreshes, so I hit F5 a couple times, make sure they're all still running, and they're good. So now we can go and start it up. Now, whenever you start it up, you're going to have some links, and you can't see that because on my other monitor, but we have the dev test portal, so we'll just go ahead and open this one up. Most of our work, at least in the most beginning of the demos, are going to be in the portal, okay? And then you also have, it says it's not there, but if you notice it's still spinning, so I'll give it a few minutes. It just means everything's still starting up. And then you have the workstation. Now the workstation is the thick client. The workstation you can do more with. Sorry, I wish there was a way to drag this over, but I can't. So the workstation, first thing it wants to do is connect to the registry. And for some reason I just lost it. So let me stop the workstation, try it again. Let's try to drag it to the other monitor, but I lost it. I'll just end it to kill it while that's still starting up. And if you do get this error, it says it can't reach it yet. It just means all your services are still starting up. Not a big deal. Don't panic. As long as everything is still working in your services and everything's still running, then you should be fine. And let's just double check since I said that. Refresh. And that's why I kind of want to do the video on this, because in Windows, it's not as clean as it should be. Now, the one thing that you're missing, and maybe I'll figure out a way to show you later, is whenever you first open DevTest, the workstation, the first thing you want to do is connect to the registry. Okay, you can have multiple. You can only have one registry per database, but you can, like, if I have a registry in Dev, I have a registry in QA, one, in a SAN or something like that, then you can get to them that way. Let's see. All right, now our portal's up. So there for a while it looked like it was broke. It wasn't. Just let it run. And we'll deal with that in a few seconds. Like I said, it's still just starting up. Normally what I like to do is let it start it up and then go work on something else, or get a cup of coffee, or just take a huge break and then come back and everything should be running. Now here's the thick client. Now I'm going to do videos on this, and like I said, I may combine it all to one video, or maybe separate videos, just depending on what YouTube allows versus what makes it easier, what makes sense. But this is the workstation, and we'll get to this shortly, because most of the stuff we're going to be working on is going to be here in the portal. All right. And now our portal's connected.